Hello and welcome back to Murders on the Yangtze River. My name is Mimi Dennis, and last time we started our investigation in the haunted furnace. We talked to some of the people here, where there was like someone who managed money, there was a guard who was like asking us to pay him, there was Li Yi who was like, get this to finish as soon as possible please, and there was this reporter who was like, oh, I already know the truth, I'm gonna tell you right now. So yeah, we met a whole bunch of people. There's even more. There were 2 workers as well who were complaining about the victim. But yeah, I haven't really formed a narrative, so I don't really know exactly what happened. But it seems like journalist Wen does, so we're gonna question her theory and see how right she truly is. Ting's death wasn't caused by ghosts, nor was it an accident. It was actually
自杀
suicide. Okay.
自杀，绝无可能。今日是马丁炉试产的紧要关头。
That text was really slow. The text is really slow in this game. I kind of wish there was a way to make it a little bit faster. I'm gonna look at the settings again. I wonder if they actually like have that changed, but no, it does not seem like there is. Oh well.
丁将木心系此事，绝不会在今日自杀。
He was engrossed in this affair. What if something failed that day?
正因为今日重要，他才会选择在今日自杀。
She's gonna be like, it failed, and he didn't feel like he could continue living on or something.
这是为何？
多年来，丁将木一直痴迷于钻研炼钢技术。他提出的改进炼钢工艺改良之法，据说能大大降低钢铁的成本。汉阳铁厂的钢轨也因此广开销路，接连拿下大额订单。在关键时刻。 钢轨却爆出了严重的质量问题，丁将木难辞其咎。
Yeah, I mean, we know this is wrong because she's presenting it as the first thing for us to counter, but like, it's not like out of left field, you know.
其实，这事也不能全怪老丁，主要还是所用焦炭的含磷量太高。
High phosphorus content in the coke that was used.
为解决问题，丁将木提出再次改进工艺，并在李会班面前立下了军令状。不料，接连几次试产都失败了。绝望的他只能将希望寄托于迷信传说。所以，今早是一场策划过的自杀，或者说是。
A sacrifice? That's her theory? It's a sacrifice?
这难道真是本王给她的压力太大了
I'm not gonna lie, it's hard for me to take this seriously when she has like this ubu smile on like the entire time.
悲喜，匠木血肉铸铁钢，民族工业陆何方？这就是我下一篇报道的标题了。
文小姐这么肯定丁将木是自杀，可是掌握了什么证据
？Evidence, please.
那当然。
I'm gonna sue this company for my camera, even though I put it there. 我在公事
房的书桌上发现了丁将木的绝笔信。
Wow. Okay.
等一下，绝笔信在哪儿？我们怎么没看到过呀？
如此重要的新闻材料。 当然得保护起来了。
So I stole evidence from the crime scene.
私藏证物呢？
公事房里人多手杂，我担心线索遗失，才代为保管。怎么能算私藏呢
That is literally hiding evidence from people who need to see it.
文小姐，可否将信件借我一看？
可以，这信也没什么特别的。
多年以来，吾费心尽力。 只求炼得好钢。
For many years, I have given my everything to try and make good steel. Okay, I'm not gonna read this.
然而，无论尝试何种方法，均无法成功。看来，吾当效法干将莫邪，以无身驯鹿。
Oh, that did happen in the thing. They threw themselves into like the thing to make steel.
如此，定能感动上苍。 丁大风于平卢车间公事房绝笔
I think someone's definitely using his fanaticism to make it seem like he committed suicide. This is definitely gonna be forged.
先生，真的是一封绝笔信。
大人，上面的笔记倒很像是老丁的。
Throw him. You don't have the suicide note as evidence. Let's take a look at our log. This is the last words written. Blah blah blah. Sacrificing himself to the gods. It does sound like suicide. I was trying to think if it could be interpreted in another way. And, you know, the main way would be suicide, but maybe it could be interpreted in another way to make it seem like it was something else. So maybe it wasn't actually supposed to be suicide, but it's hard to really find another thing at the moment.
文记者没有损坏证物吧？
怎么可能？我是原封不动将它收好的。
既然如此，许恒，你去草拟一份公告，通告事件始末，以平息流言。
Wait.
且慢，这封信有问题。
I don't know what's wrong
这封
yet.
信很普通啊，有什么问题？
信中的细节之处与已有的证据相冲突，难以
There's a
一一
detail
概
that
括。
conflicts with existing evidence.
文小姐，我会一句一句的回顾这封绝笔信上的内容，对有问题的句子提出质疑。
Oh. So, like, the testimony is gonna be her reciting the will. It's not what like the entire thing that she said.
然
Huh.
后将有疑问的内容与收集到的证物进行比对。
Wow, that's actually pretty
如
cool.
果找到了与绝笔信内容有矛盾的证物，我会出示给你看。
好啊，那就开始吧。
Well, I'm glad she's not like, oh no. She's actually open to this because she's trying to find the truth, but she just thought that was the truth. I mean, given a suicide note, I think anyone would have thought it was a suicide. Inquiry, the problem with the suicide
多
note.
年以来，吾费心尽力，只求练得好钢。
I don't think that's it. For many years, I've given my everything to try to make good steel.
然而，无论尝试何种方法，均无法
Nevertheless,
成功。
all my attempts and methods have ended in failure.
看来，吾当效法干将莫邪，以无身驯虏。
It seems that I should follow the example of Gan Jiang and Mo Ye.
如此，定能感动上苍。
Sacrificing myself to the furnace will surely move the heart of the gods.
丁大风于平卢车间公事房绝笔。
The last words of Ting Ta Feng, written in the office of the furnace factory floor. Okay, let's look at our evidence. Is it gonna be factory floor? Nah, so office desk lamp. Let's look at the details. It's just gonna be a bigger picture of it. Placed on the desk was a lamp, ruler, a pen rack, blah blah. Inkstone is dusty. Don't really see anything here, to be honest. So he last saw Foreman Ting yesterday evening near the steam turbines. He was wearing a headcloth. Originally I thought this was a bribe, but no, it was used to pay the guard. I am not sure what this is. I think this is not gonna be right, but I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. Like, the thing that pops out to me is the furnace factory floor. So I'm gonna present the map, though I'm pretty sure this is not gonna be right. Yeah, the music's continuing.
会办大人，请看这件证物。
这与绝笔信之间有何关联？
I have no idea.
大人，所有事物之间都有千丝万缕。
Trust me, they're all connected somehow.
那就请沈先生说得更明白一些，时间紧迫呀。
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I rewinded because I want my health back. Maybe it's this. All my attempts and methods have ended in failure. If we question, oh crap, if we question that, I can't tell. Oh, it's this. We saw that the stuff used in this room was, yeah, it is written in the office factory floor. If we present this, we saw that the inkstone was quite dusty, meaning it hasn't been used in a while, so they probably didn't write it here. The music
文小姐认
disappeared.
为， 丁将木是在公事房何处写下的这封绝笔信。
So what it did have to do with the office, but it wasn't the blueprint. Whoops.
这封信是用毛笔写的，自然是在公事房的书桌上。
那你可曾注意到公事房书桌上的砚台？这封绝笔信确实是用毛笔所写。信的落款也提到于公事房绝笔，可公事房中仅有的砚台上，墨迹已经干裂，还显然许久未被使用。
It hasn't been used in a long time.
这两者之间存在明显的矛盾。这封信不是在公事房写的。
铁厂本就多灰尘，就算有机会。
Oh crap! Whoops! I accidentally clicked outside the game.
但桌面上并没有多少灰尘，那座神龛更是一尘不染。可见，只有砚台许久未用。
Sorry, I didn't expect you to do that.
随身携带了笔墨呢？
哪有人会随身携带砚台啊？这也太强词夺理了吧！
Well, actually.
难道侦探先生能否定这种可能吗？
文小姐当然可以做此假设，但这封信上还有一处细节与落款所提相悖。
One detail on this letter that contradicts the signature. Point out the place that contradicts with the signature. I can't read Chinese! What's his signature? Oh! I legit have no idea. Here? Oh, I can go back. I literally have no idea. The place that contradicts with the signature. This is where the signature is supposed to be because the Chinese writing goes from right to left, I believe. Especially when it's up and down, but I don't know. Sure.
沈先生是说折痕有问题。
Oh! Oh!
正是。
Oh! I was clicking the name, man. I didn't. Oh, so I didn't have to look at the signature. I just had to look at the creases. Do you have that added into? Oh, we still don't have it in our evidence.
文小姐曾说，为防止证物被破坏，特意将信原封不动地收好。因此，这折痕并不是文小姐造成的，对吗？
没错，折痕不是我造成的。
你发现时，信被平摊在公事房的桌上，对吗？
Oh.
是，到底有什么问题？
信纸有折痕，折叠信纸一般是为了方便携带。若信真的是丁将木自尽前在公事房写下的，
Why is it folded in the first place?
又何必要把它折起来，多此一举呢？
Yeah, that's a good point. She specifically said that she didn't tamper with the evidence. She may have taken it for safekeeping, but she did not tamper with it. And she knows, at least she's an outside party, so she wouldn't have a motive, but she knows that she took it as is, so that means it was folded by the time she took it. That does raise a good question. That means that either someone else forged it or someone else took it after he wrote the letter. Most likely the latter, because he said it matches the handwriting.
也许信是在其他地方写的吧。
可信上明明写着于平炉车间公事房绝笔。
Yeah. Huh?
的确如此。
难道这封绝笔信是伪造的？
没错，有人想要掩盖丁将木死亡的真相。
什么
What?
丁将木之死有何掩盖的必要？他跌进炉子时，工人们看得清清楚楚啊！
大人，会不会是目击的工人有所隐瞒呢？
Oh, he's playing. I'm suspicious of Ho only because. Okay, I will say this at the end. There is something else that made me suspicious of him, but it's kind of a spoiler, so I'm not gonna say anything. But it's because of that other thing and just the fact that like he's calm. He's basically the accountant. He's in charge of the finances, and now he's trying to like hit on other people.
武勋丁，去将事发时在场的工人都请来问话。
是。
Patrolman's like, yes, if you pay me enough.
侦探先生，关于绝笔信的问题，你还没有完全说服我。我们谁都无法准确揣测一个人临终前的心境。丁匠木为方便自己，而在其他地方写好信，然后放到公事房里让人发现，
If
也
it's
是
a
可能的。
possibility and not a certainty, you shouldn't publish it yet.
这个可能性虽低，但的确存在。所谓孤证不立，此信还需结合其他证据，再做追究。
Yes. New clue. It says the foreman Ting was... Okay, yeah. I accidentally... Damn, I was so lucky. I wasn't even focused on that. I was actually going to click a crease next, notably here, because this crease is a little bit different. But, I should have got a point off for that. It says Foreman Ting, vexed at his steelwork failure, wrote a final letter in his office, then chose death in homage to steel.
那便将绝笔信之事暂押，先探讨其他疑点。
好，
Welcome back.
老赵和阿武到了，进来吧。你们二人再将早晨的情形复述一遍，不可遗漏任何细节。
Tell me.
一上午都说了很多次了。
阿武，好好回大人的话。
Please, I don't want any trouble. Don't stop doing something like that. It's gonna get us into more trouble. Oh, testimony regarding what Old Chow and Awu said
当
that
时
saw
我
this
和师
morning.
傅正在浇筑钢锭，
Checks
浇
out.
着浇着，我突然看到了匠木。当时他正倚在2号钢水口旁的栏杆上。
阿武提醒我匠木在对面时，我发现他身后的钢水闸也打开了。
项目出现的同时，闸门也开了。
Oh, the outlet shutter opened at the same time as the appearance of the foreman.
我想，应该是他自己打开的吧。然后，过了不久，匠木忽然扑了下去，紧接着，钢水包就炸了。
两人刚刚的说法中，存在一处隐蔽的矛盾。
Inquiry. Events the metal casters
当时我
saw.
和师傅正在浇筑钢锭，
At the time, my master and I were in the middle of casting ingots.
浇着浇着，我突然看到了匠木。当时他正倚在2号
Oh
钢水
wait, I
口
want
旁
to
的栏
go
杆上。
back a little. Damn. I want to see if this was operated at the time. I completely missed it. I suddenly saw the foreman Ting. He was resting against a railing next to outlet number 2.
这个时候，我发现匠木身后的钢水闸也开了，应该是他自己打开的吧。
I noticed the outlet shutter behind Ting was open. He likely opened it himself.
过了不久，匠木忽然扑了下去，紧接着钢水包就炸了。
Seconds after, Ting suddenly dived forward. Right after that, the ladle exploded.
整个过程中，我俩都没看到对面有第二个人。
Throughout this entire process, we didn't see another person on the other side. Oh, yeah, if you look here, that was not operational. It wasn't until this part where we saw that it was lifted up and he was right there. Oh, that is kind of creepy. If I were to question something, it would probably be this statement. I noticed that the outlet shutter behind Ting was open. He likely opened it himself. It's gonna be this because two things. First, the handle is on the other side, and second, it seems like it opened like for a while. I'm pretty sure the first part is more important. Yeah.
钢水闸不可能是丁匠木自己打开的，现场绝不只有他一人。
为什么？
钢水闸的拉杆很长，若想拉开它，必须站在钢水槽的另一侧。
And quite far as well.
但是两位工人看到的，却是丁匠木出现的同时，闸门也开了。这不是一个人能做到的。
不一定是完全同时。毕竟我和阿武也不是一直盯着对面看。
侦探先生，丁教木先拉开闸门，再快速走到钢水包前，不可以吗？
Why?
不可行，因为现场存在此物。
Because this was present on site. I don't know. So he couldn't go over here and then go around? I'm not sure. Point out the reason why it was impossible to reach the ladle that quickly. I'm just gonna point out the ladle. I have no idea.
刚刚我已经出
Damn
示过这
it.
个证物。
I've already presented this piece of evidence before. Oh, crap. Is it gonna be this thing? I don't know.
先生，这里没什么异常的呀。
Shan, there's nothing unusual about this. Ugh. Screw it. This thing. The thing in the middle.
我刚才说过，丁
Oh,
教母
okay.
操作拉杆后，必须跨过钢水槽。
I thought he
才能
was
走到
going
坠楼的位置。
around. There is a way to go around it. Okay. Okay, so my initial idea of, oh, he's on the other side is the answer. Not something more complicated than that. Damn it, I feel so dumb.
可一旦钢水闸打开，槽中会注满1600度的钢水，人根本无法通过。想走到坠炉的位置，他就必须经过平炉背面的加料区，从
And
另一侧绕过来。
That would not be feasible because by the time he got over there, this would be shut because he'd have to let go of the thing.
这不是短时间内能做到的。
也许丁教木提早打开了钢水闸，只是碰巧老赵和阿武没看到呢。
我留意过，这间闸门一直是关着的，不骗你。
即使老赵和阿武可能会漏看，丁教母经过加料区时，还会遇到填
True.
料工老李。
Yeah, I forgot that old Lee is there.
可老李却对他的出现毫不知情，这又如何解释呢？
难道是五鬼搬运？是不是神像显灵了？
No, don't bring more shrine mumbo jumbo in here.
作祟的不是鬼神，
It was murder.
是人心。在丁教母坠楼的现场，一定还存在另一个人。当丁教母倚靠在栏杆上时，是他拉开了闸门。
He's like, yes, they won't be able to see me from the other side because this thing is blocking.
等一等，炉子的正面有老赵和阿武看着，背面有老李在。如果现场真的存在另一个人，他怎么可能不被人看到？
Good
主要利用
question.
这件证物，他就能巧妙地将自己隐藏起来。
It's gonna be this thing because it was lifted up and they couldn't see him.
那人想要隐藏行踪，只要利用好钢水包即可。
我明白了，先生说的是视野盲区。
所谓盲区，是指视线不能到达的区域吗？
没错，这个钢水包高2米，直径近1.5米，肯定会挡住老赵和阿武的部分视线。
Yeah, like how you couldn't see him before you moved this thing.
可是我和师傅浇筑时站在不同的位置，
That thing is
浇筑时的
massive.
分工也是一人作业一人观察，我们俩中总会有一人看着对面的。
And you're all focused on work, so nah.
老赵，你和阿武作业时站在哪里？
我平时站在钢水包左边，阿武就站我旁边，我们都离钢水包比较近。
我在浇筑平台上观察过2位工作，2位的视野经钢水包遮挡，都存在盲区，且2个盲区是有交集的。
That's the purpose of them staying back to watch them do the metal work, is to now know what their angle was.
那便是疑犯躲藏的地方。
可是我和师傅又不是只傻站着，钢水包一动，我们也会跟着走啊！一走不就看到他了吗？
你们一直跟着钢水包走，却看不到钢水包后的疑犯，是因为
The suspect moved with the ladle. Absolute blind spot present. I'm gonna say move to the ladle. That makes more sense to me.
这很简单，他跟着钢水包一起移动，就能一直待在视野盲区中了。
I don't think there's an absolute blind spot. 这，
没错，那人只要跟着钢水包走，确保自己看不见对面的工人就行了。
yeah, look at him, he's evil.
因为光路是可逆的嘛。
真是有趣的方法。若是刊登在小说专栏里，读者们会津津乐道呢。
Interesting if this was a novel. Unfortunately, it's not. It's non-fiction.
不过，侦探先生恐怕忘了，钉匠木坠炉时引发了爆炸。如果当时有人在2号炉前的平台上，不死也会身受重伤的吧
It's a good point, actually.
坠
Yeah.
炉事件并未有其他人员伤亡。
It could be that they're hiding their injuries. Everyone's basically fully
这又如
clothed.
何解释呢？
我想，疑犯或许可以在这里躲避。
Hide here? Oh, just here? That's my guess. That makes the most sense to me.
2号炉右侧的通道并没有被波及，他当时可在此处躲避。经钢水包掩护，爆炸发生时，他的位置已经离通道不远。
They'd really have to like try their best to not get caught, though. But I guess maybe
趁
working
钉
with
匠
them
木的
for so
出现
long,
吸
they
引
knew
了
that they
工
were
人的
always
注意，
together.
他躲进通道，顺利脱险。
Like understood their work habits that when they're doing the work, they actually have to be near each other.
听起来，这个嫌犯不但熟悉炼钢的流程，还深谙人心呢。
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
可这还是不对啊！
阿武，老爷们说话哪轮得到你插嘴？
阿武，你觉得哪里还有问题？
我明明看到酵母靠在栏杆上，栏杆突然消失了，才导致他翻下去的。若不是神像显灵，栏杆怎会突然消失呢？
That's a good point. I'm thinking maybe the railing was maybe attached to something and he just kind of pulled it over. And then because it's gone, he just kind of into it.
弟弟，栏杆是不会凭空消失的，这个世界也不存在鬼神。
可我明明看见了，我发誓。
我也很确定，你看错了。人在紧张或是害怕时，很容易出现记忆错乱。
I get the feeling that he's probably telling the truth.
我没
He's
看错。
dismissing it too quickly.
文记者为何如此确定阿武看错了？
昨天傍晚我拍照时，那里就没有栏杆了。晚上值夜班的只有填料工老李。
Was the only person on duty that night? Okay, last
我
night.
问过他，他没去装过栏杆。不信的话，你看这张照片。
先生，钢水包上方的栏杆果真是空的。
That means someone probably put something there as a substitute.
可我明明看见他倚着栏杆。
你呀，少当出头鸟，言多必有失啊！
Please, no more trouble.
沈先生，
若钢水包上方没有栏杆，说明丁教木是自己站在那里的。工人们又很确定他的周围没有人，那他是怎么跌入钢水包中的呢？
所以我说他是自杀啊。不过，结合侦探先生刚才的推论，或许有人在协助他自杀，也说不定。
Ah, so she's gonna say it was assisted suicide.
栏杆消失，钉匠木坠落，或许与这件任务有关。
Disappearance of the railing and Ting's folly may be connected. Maybe it's nah. Grayish white powder found below the railing incident. Upon close inspection, there's small particles with a lingering pungent odor. I think that's the only thing that is relevant here. Unless this thing, wearing a headcloth. No, I think it's gonna be this. Here's proof.
这是阿福在栏杆附近找到的粉末，这些粉末实际上是灰白色小颗粒，还残留着刺鼻的味道。
Oh, it's possible that it just melted or burned.
这是某种物质烧焦后的残留，目前我们只在坠炉现场的栏杆附近找到过。
这的确不是炼钢会用到的东西。
我们怀疑疑犯在现场布置了某种机关装置，造成钉匠木坠炉。
真没想到，一个坠炉事故的背后竟如此复杂。
So complex.
机关装置倒是个不错的写文点。那到底是什么样的机关呢？
这个嘛，我们还需要再花时间研究一下。
自强运动期间，本办见识了不少西洋机器，新奇精巧，着实令人叹为观止。
I'm curious as to what it could be. I wonder if we're gonna get a second investigation. We didn't have that for the first or second case.
若真能还原机关，整件事倒是基本说通了。
Disappearing
却非鬼神
railing
作祟，而是机器使然呐。
has been updated.
但本办还有一点未想通：疑犯所需完成的一系列筹谋颇为复杂，且离不开钉匠木的配合。钉匠木又为何会乖乖任人摆布呢？
He planned this himself. He was coerced. I think he was already dead. Yeah, because that's why he was so lifeless. And, that's why he just kind of fell in.
那时的钉匠木，恐怕已经凶多吉少了。
此话怎讲？
It's possible he may not have been dead. He could have been knocked out. But either way, he was pretty much already gonna die.
阿武说他看到钉匠木时，钉匠木正靠在栏杆上，直勾勾地看着下方。栏杆温度很高，但他并不在乎，因为当时的他已经感觉不到烫了。
Yeah.
他的眼睛也不是在看下方，而是闭着。
So I guess it's not gonna be like a body double or a fake body. It's gonna be Ting actually dying, and this was he's already dead here.
这也解释了为什么钉匠木不是跳下去，而是扑下去。因此，我怀疑这是一起凶案。
凶案？那眼下，
大人，我们还需再做一轮补充调查。
Supplementary investigation.
目前虽已大致推断出了疑犯的作案手法，但仍还有很多疑团未解开。
比如疑犯是如何离开现场的？
还有疑犯的身
How did
份、
the suspect
作
leave?
案动机，现在一点头绪都没有呢。
丁江母为人执拗，私下或得罪了不少人，但他一心为查，不该遭此不幸。只是眼下，铁厂一天也耽搁不起了。
大人，凶案性质不同，若歹人连环作案，对铁厂造成的损失不可估量。
We gotta solve this.
如果明早还没定论，可先起草公告压下舆论，再细细调查。况且，我相信侦探先生一定会在明早之前查明真相。
Okay, we convinced her. She's like, oh, this detective is actually kind of good. We'll go with him for now.
对吧，大侦探？
沈某尽力。
那就依文小姐的建议来吧。
Okay.
先生，文小姐怎么又忽然帮我们说
She
话？
wants her scoop, duh.
她好像也完全不在意输给了先生。
我听到了，小弟弟，
小弟弟。
谁要跟你比赛了？
Yeah.
对文小姐来说，更看重的应该是新闻。
坠炉事故玄机藏，揭示阴谋侦探忙，这个标题怎么样呢？
Okay. So it seems like it was murder. Person was able to escape.
我们接下来怎么办？
I guess we gotta examine the second floor again.
说坠炉事故发生时，丁匠木已经遭遇不测了，说明平炉2层很可能不是案发的第一现场。
Yeah, good point. I thought we had to find out how the person escaped, but if he was already dead, we had to find out where he was killed.
得想办法找到第一现场才行。
Primary crime scene. Let's look at our thoughts. Disappearing railing. The suspect may have set up some kind of mechanism at the site of the incident. These particles only appear at the site of the incident, likely related to some mechanism. Afu, do you remember what it is? Not yet, but it smells really familiar. I'll keep an eye out for it in the ironworks. Oh, okay. How did the suspect leave? The site of the incident was under watch before and after, yet no one saw them. Even if the suspect used a ladle to stay undercover and avoided the sight of the old Chow and Wu, how was he able to leave the scene completely undetected? After the incident, workers were fighting the fire in front of the furnace. They would have seen him if he walked out from the front. I believe his safest choice would be the elevator in the charging area behind the furnace. But old Lee said that he didn't see anyone unless he... We need to reinvestigate the surroundings of the charging area. Okay, cool. Need to go back to the charging area. Foreman Ting's relationships. In the event that Foreman Ting was murdered, what was the assailant's motive? Foreman Ting was really unpopular. Nobody likes him. It feels like everyone has a motive. I will interview the people related to Foreman Ting. Okay, primary crime scene. No body, no autopsy. There's no way to know what unforeseen mishap Foreman Ting ran into. Shen, how are we supposed to find the primary crime scene? We don't even know if he was already dead or in a state of unconsciousness before he fell. We need to broaden the scope of our investigation. Let's look into places Foreman Ting had been to before the incident. I see. Okay, so we have like something in our inventory to show that someone saw him last night. I think that was I'm just gonna call him the accountant. I keep forgetting what the finance dude, this dude, treasurer. Okay. So steel ingot. Steel ingots cast from molten steel in ladle 2 after the incident. According to Afu, the remains of the deceased will not be within them. Ooh, the bones and stuff may not, but what if the stuff he's carrying? It's clear that he was thrown in there to destroy all the evidence on him. But what if it could be detected here? I mean, the color is already different on some of these ingots. Maybe it's due to the heat, but I don't know. Let's talk to Li. Your Honor, there are quite a few questions about the shrine that I would like to ask you. There's no harm in asking. I heard that Deputy Administrator was the one who arranged the statue? O Ting repeatedly asked me to invite the gods in, and I couldn't argue with him. He was quite concerned about this, and even built the shrine by himself. Who would know that after the gods were invited, all these terrible things happened? So Foreman Ting built the shrine and the altar by himself. Oh, so he's probably responsible for whatever smell that thing was. Was it money? Was he embezzling money, possibly? Shen, we didn't check the altar beneath the shrine earlier. No matter, feel free to investigate it. As long as you can solve the case as soon as possible. I wonder if there's gonna be money. Evidence examination. Let's look at the statue first. Oh, it's 3D modeling. Okay, cool. A wooden altar, so simple in structure that it doesn't even have a drawer. Let's look at the... Whoa, even closer. A statue of Ganjiang and Moye. It's just a normal statue with no mechanisms or secret compartments. Let's look at this. There are 3 sticks of incense placed vertically on the incense burner. The candles. There is half a stick of red candle on the candlestick that has already been put out. Is it gonna be the same for the other side? Yep, it is. So if we can turn... What about the actual pot? Nope, it's just incense. What about the top? A shrine made of rosewood. The carvings aren't that meticulous. You can even say it's ugly. So Foreman Ting built this with his own hands? Wow, he's pretty impressive. Ah, behind the altar is a secret compartment. yeah, if you move these things, you'll be able to open the door. All right, it's open. It's gonna be money, I know. Oh, whoa! No, it's a bunch of chemicals. Look, Shen, there are a lot of containers and reagents in the secret compartment. It appears that this is the true secret of the shrine. Oh, that's why when you knocked it over, it smelled. I see. What is this, though? So, there are 3 bottles placed on the shelf, one of which has been sealed at the mouth. One of them is also missing, clearly. I can't really read the label on the bottle clearly, so I'll open it. H&O? Ugh! There's gunpowder smell. I got it, Shen. This bottle contains concentrated nitric acid. Okay, eerie status. The two pieces of steel soaked in reagents seem to have corroded. One of the labels says sample made by pig iron burnt with coal from Westphalia. The other label says sample made by a mixture of Chinese coke, breeze, and anthracite. Ugh, I hate this. I can't read some of these words. Okay, let's look at the top shelf. A crucible in iron frame, a funnel, a beaker, and a conical flask, and a dropper. Oh, conical. These are all common appliances used for chemical experiments that are placed up on the shelf. Yeah, that's not too useful, actually. What about this part? Ammonia, sodium hydroxide. There are all kinds of reagents placed on the shelf. I mean, what about this missing? Oh, what? No. What about this clearly missing part in the second shelf? Oh, wait. Achievement. Surely holds a secret. Okay. There's a black mark on the partition board that feels hollow to the touch. It's a result of the corrosion. Corrosion? Oh, that's probably because it spilled. I didn't expect there was a whole set of chemical appliances hidden within the shrine. So he was actually secretly conducting experiments instead of worshipping gods. I never knew of any of this. Mr. Deputy Administrator, would it be possible to ask you a few more questions? Go on, Mr. Shen. About the appliances. Has Mr. Deputy Administrator ever seen these chemicals appliances in the shrine? I never knew that he was secretly conducting experiments. However, these appliances do look like the ones used in the laboratory in the backyard. Is it possible that the foreman Ting borrowed these from the laboratory? I can't be sure, but the foreman Ting used to be the assistant of Mr. Robinson, the chemist here. Later on, when we need a foreman on the factory floor, Mr. Robinson recommended him. Is it not true that he's overqualified for the job as a foreman? It is indeed more laborious and generous to I don't know that word, man, to work on the factory floor than in the laboratory. However, he has a great enthusiasm for steel making. Go on. Let's talk about the research. I recall you once said that he has always been studying open hearth steelmaking technology. Yes, he wants to improve the formulation of steel to reduce costs and increase efficiency. The minerals obtained by our ironworks are mostly phosphate rocks left over by the Japanese. To produce good steel, we had to buy pricey phosphorus-free coke from the foreigners. Not only are the production costs high, but the quality has always been unstable. After we used open hearth process, the product quality has improved, but the costs are still high. Ting suggested to replace the foreign coke with a mixture of Pingxiang coke, breeze, and anthracite. The steel will be refined in the open hearth furnace as phosphorus is removed. The open hearth process uses the alkaline furnace. There's too many scientific terms. I hate chemistry, man. It's hard. Which is good at removing phosphorus. Nevertheless, these have nothing to do with the chemical appliances in the shrine. Okay, and Foreman Ting's suggestions. I heard from the workers that there was a problem with the batch of products. Ting's methods reduced costs by 1/3. We also did some tests on its mechanical properties. The results are good. Therefore, we trial produced a batch of steel rails. good quality and low price helped us get the orders from many railways. Ooh. Ooh, is that gonna be relevant in the future? Okay. Kind of not a little bit of spoilers for the Apothecary Diaries, so skip like 20 seconds. But I remember there was a case where the main character of Apothecary Diaries dealt with a group of people who worked with metal, and afterwards, after the case was closed, it actually came back where like the things that they used were actually relevant for a future case. I'm not gonna say anything more because that'll also be spoilers, but I think that might be a case here. We might actually see the metal work in this case be used in the future in a way that is part of a crime. But what went wrong? Ugh, indeed. The test reports from London came back saying that there was quality problems with our products. The report says that the carbon content in the steel was too low to be durable. The phosphorus content was too high and has prospects of fragmentation. As a result, the construction company for the railways refused to accept our steel rails. Public also accused us of cutting corners on such an important matter. Ah, I see. I felt so ashamed. I'm sure that Foreman Ting was also under a lot of stress too. After that incident, old Ting's condition hasn't been so well. So he was actually secretly conducting experiments instead of worshipping gods. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Administrator. Afu and I shall continue our investigation following this clue. That was actually pretty big. Let's look at the map. Okay. This is gonna be the same thing. Okay, so we can't leave. Okay, so yeah, that was actually a lot more than I expected. I didn't expect to get so much information from that. Table, let's look at these finances. This is a desk that the Supervisor Ho moved here temporarily. There's a headcloth on the desk. Supervisor Ho was using it as to bag the money. Is that it? Or that looks like a piece of paper though. No, the paper in this era looked like this. So maybe that's a headcloth? Sure. There's an account. Wait, that person Ting wore a headcloth even though he normally doesn't. Is that gonna be it? There's an account book next to it. Let me take a look. Old Lee's wages were deducted a lot. The reason is because he skipped work multiple times. Awu wages were the second most deducted for being late. Old Chow's have also been deducted. These are circumstances worth keeping in mind. Wait, so Lee... okay. He was absent a lot. Okay. And then next was Wu. And then lastly was Chow. I got some ideas, so let's think them. Eerie statuses. Awu once kicked over the statue, causing the shrine to unleash its full powers and make him fall ill. Shen! I know the principle behind the shrine unleashing its power. Is it related to the chemical reagents inside the cabinet? Exactly. The so-called powers of the shrine is actually... I don't know, actually. I don't know my mixtures. Let's just say this one. There is a concentrated hydrochloric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid in the cabinet. When the hydrochloric acid and the sulfuric acid meet, it produces a large white fog. The white fog is irritating to the throat, which should be the reason why Awu fell ill. Then how do we explain the smell of firewood on the site? Fireworks. Right, I forgot about that. Shen, give me some more time to rethink this. Okay, so maybe overturn HNO3. Remember when Awu kicked the shrine? So why is it Awu when his name is something else? I bet he accidentally knocked over the concentrated nitric acid in the cabinet. The acid had a gunpowder smell. Whenever anything evaporates, it produces a yellowish white smoke. If that's the case, then Awu fell ill because he inhaled acid? Yes, nitric acid harms the respiratory tracts. Awu was close by. He probably inhaled a lot. They are afraid of ghosts and don't know chemistry. It's easy for them to be superstitious. Afu, that was good deducting. Heh, classic me. Leakage from nitric acid and something else. Appearances hidden in the shrine. Foreman Ting seems to have been conducting experiments in secret. Apparently, worshipping the shrine behind closed doors was just a cover. Foreman Ting was actually conducting some kind of chemical experiment in secret.
Huh?
But there's a laboratory in the factory. Why didn't he just go there to conduct experiments? Obviously, he didn't want anyone to know. He must have had a reason. That I'm kind of confused about. Clearly there's a reason, but I don't know what the reason is. Shen, this door leads to the backyard. Let's head over there and take a look. Oh, there, okay. Let's see what else people have to say. I heard the old Ting got killed by somebody. He brought that trouble onto himself. Man, no mercy. Alright, what you gotta say, Ah Wu? Actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure his name is Yen Wu. Why is it Ah Wu? Maybe Ah means something, I'm not sure. That's why we called him Ah Fu too. Ah Wu, what are you doing here? Did you just say that? The foreman was murdered. Wait, you were in the room, right? At present, it's highly likely that he was murdered. Mr. Shen, you'll believe what I say, right? Yes. I remember something strange. My master doesn't let me say much. I'm not sure if this is important or not. There's no one else here, Ah Wu. Be at ease and tell us. Yes! This morning, I noticed that the crane hook was not stationed at the usual position. Where is the crane hook usually positioned? It's supposed to be between the furnace number 1 and furnace number 2. But when I got here this morning, I saw the crane hook stationed in front of furnace number 2. Huh. What does this mean? Does that mean someone was planning on using furnace number 2? Is it possible that someone used a crane hook during working hours? Not likely. No one would move the crane hook if we weren't casting ingots. So you suspect that someone used a crane hook last night? That's right. So they're saying it's the night before, I see. Thank you, Ah Wu. This really helps our investigations. Anyway, hurry up and find that murderer. New clue, we got the crane hook. So, can we actually go this way, or are we gonna get blocked? Oh, we can. Okay, so here we can go to the second floor platform. Let's talk to Yen Wu, actually. The crane hook was in front of furnace 2 this morning. Someone definitely used it last night. Oh, okay, that's it. Okay, let's look at ladle number 2 again. This ladle was the one that the foreman fell into. Okay. Slag heap. Since there's no body to examine, Auntie Vu already left. See ya, suckers! I heard that old Ting's death was influenced. By who? Okay. Let me out! Shan, the factory floor's front door is just up ahead. Would you like some fresh air? We're short on time, so let us focus on investigation first. Let me out! Let me out! Alright, I think we're supposed to go outside? Like the backyard, but I want to go to the second floor first. I feel like there are going to be some details here that are probably new. So this furnace charging area, we'll go over there in the next time. The lever. I don't know if you should do that without permission, man. Woohoo! All right. Seems like nothing's really changed. This part is closed now, so we can hop over to the other side. Last time they were working on it, but I don't think there's anything here actually. I guess we'll go to the furnace charging area. Oh, it's really cool that how they like lead us to the opposite side. Let's talk to Lee Chen Hai because we were suspecting the elevator to be used. Old Lee, there's still a few questions I would like to ask about this morning. I forgot the voice I gave him. If there's anything you'd need to ask, then just ask. We briefed him on all the stuff. So you're saying old Ting was murdered? It wasn't because he provoked that thing in the shrine? Of course! We went to the office and nothing happened. Old Lee, between last night and this morning, have you noticed anything unusual? Or perhaps have you heard of any strange noises? Nothing unusual or any strange noises. Were you working at the second floor furnace area all night? Yes. Something to take a break, but I never left, not even for a second. What was that pause? He spent the whole night on the second floor and found nothing unusual. that conflicts with... I think it's this. You saw Foreman Ting yesterday wearing... near the steam turbines. Is it this? Or is it gonna be the... I'll try this. When was the last time you saw Foreman Ting? Yesterday afternoon, I think. He came to talk to me about charging issues. Was there anything unusual about him? There wasn't anything unusual. Was he wearing a headcloth? No, he never wears that kind of thing. He thinks it's stuffy. Shen, is this relevant to whether or not old Lee left the second floor? I guess it is not. I shall reconsider. Oh, okay. So it's gonna be this thing because this thing was moved. Okay, but I'm glad they actually had dialogue for this because a lot of times it'd be like generic dialogue. My bad. I'll ask something else. Here's proof. The movement of the crane hook are exceedingly noisy. If you were really here all night, how could you have not known that someone used the crane hook last night? Oh, unless you were the person who moved the crane hook. It wasn't me. Last night, I did in fact leave the second floor furnace area. Where did you go? I stayed up past midnight. I was very hungry and I went to the dock to have a midnight snack. No way! If you left, who was looking after the furnace? The furnace could be unattended for an hour after materials are shoveled in. Huh! Patrolman who can prove it. Whenever I'm on duty, we go to the dock together around that time. I swear, I'm not lying. We'll trust your words for now. Is there anything else you're hiding from us? No. Old Lee, have you ever opened the conveyor door after the incident? Well, that's... If you keep fumbling, it'll just increase our suspicions. Well... Fine then. After the incident, I did open the conveyor door without permission. The fire was so intense. It's only natural that I fear death. Old Lee, it's only human nature to flee for your life. Why do you keep this a secret earlier? There are rules of operations that workers put out the fire as a priority. Oh my god. I didn't have the guts to stay, but I was also afraid they would cut my pay. I have a family to support, so many mouths to feed. Be at ease, Old Lee. We just want to uncover the truth. We do not intend to cause you any trouble. Yeah, thanks a lot. Okay, I think we're done with him. I think that's all we're gonna get to see. I didn't mean to break the rules. Okay. So, yeah, we got a decent amount from a conveyor door. Old Lee, did you lock the conveyor door at a later time? Yes. It's embarrassing to admit. Are you the only person who holds a key to the conveyor door? I'm the only person on the factory floor that has the keys. We'd like to try and take the elevator. Please open the door for us. Will do. Oh, wow, okay. We can actually leave. Let's double check the evidence. Iron heap. Old Lee, the factory floor is already quite arid. Why is there a tarp covering the iron? Ting instructed us to do so. He was afraid the bulk material and the iron would be mixed up. Okay, doesn't seem like there's much here. I guess we'll go in here. I hope it doesn't progress. Conveyor door, let's go. Hopefully this thing is stable. Oh, what are you doing here? How did you two come out from there? We're investigating every nook and cranny that seems suspicious. Every nook and cranny! This truly is our Ace Attorney investigations. Oh wow, there's a lot. Elevator. Tools on the chest here. A file, a screwdriver, a saw, a wrench. There are a lot of tools placed on top of this chest. Alright, there we go. Objects under the tarp. I'm sure it's pig iron underneath this tarp. You're just watching us as we go through all this. Huh? This isn't pig iron. What? Shen! There are rubber blocks piled underneath here. A large quantity of rubber. Is there a need for rubber in the process of steel making? Not at all. These are These rubber blocks belong to Mr. Lee. They're just temporarily stacked here. Disappearing railing. Ah, foo. Under our feet.
Huh?
Yeah, I was thinking, if they replace the steel railing with a rubber block, then the rubber will melt a lot easier than the steel, and that's why it disappeared. Ah, these scraps of rubber. That must mean... someone processed rubber blocks here. I'm gonna look at my thoughts. I'm pretty sure that's what they're trying to imply. So, disappearing railing. The suspect may have set up some kind of mechanism at the site of the incident. Shen, once I saw those rubber blocks, I understood everything. The pungent grayish white powder we found on the site was a residue from the burning of rubber. You mean to say that the murderer has set up a rubber rod there as railing? The rubber I've seen in the past is soft and incapable of supporting the weight of a person. What we found in the warehouse was not just ordinary rubber, but vulcanized hard rubber. At ambient temperatures, it can sustain a person's weight and won't be easily deformed. But once the outlet shutter is open and the temperature is close by rises rapidly, the rubber will then soften and then deform, causing Form and Ting to topple over. From a distance, it would seem like the railing had suddenly disappeared. It appears that the murderer is very familiar with what is stored inside the warehouse. Ah, so is it maybe Old Man Lee or maybe this dude? How did the suspect leave? Oh, this we kind of know. After the incident, Old Lee had opened the conveyor doors once. Basically, they escaped because Lee just was like, I don't want to deal with this. After the incident, Old Lee had opened the conveyor door, so the suspect probably left through it? The splashes of molten steel make it impossible to pass through the stairs in front. For a long time after the incident, the conveyor door was the only way to leave the second floor. Shen, I understand now. There are only 3 possibilities. The murderer was Old Lee, someone Old Lee covered up for, or someone left the scene after Old Lee. Yep. Identity of the suspect. Shen, doesn't that mean the person who didn't arrive at the scene immediately after the incident is the most suspicious? That is true. Even if that person was not Old Lee, they would be someone who was quite familiar with Old Lee. That is why he could predict Old Lee's behavior and use it to his advantage to carry out the plan. Okay. Shabby uniform. There's a uniform over here. It looks really dirty and it's all covered in rust. Only a worker in the charging area could make their clothes this dirty. Sir, do you know who this clothing belongs to? Ah, crap, I clicked outside by accident. You can ask around and see which worker came by the warehouse today. Are you sure this uniform was discarded today? I just cleaned this place up with old Chow and the others last night before we got off work. This situation is worth recording. Uniform stained with rust, found in the warehouse. Claims it was discarded this morning. I don't know what that is. Actually, let's see what else is here. Oh, burlap sack. These gunny sacks are filled with lime. Okay. Let's talk to Kujue. Gee. If there's anything you want to know, you can try asking me. Form and Ting's relationships. Did Form and Ting ever have a problem with anyone? There's quite a few. Let's count Awu in first. Was it because Form and Ting was strict and paid Awu's wages late? Not entirely. Ting was stricter with Awu more than he was with anyone else, so Awu hated him. Old Ting came from the backwater countryside and was the youngest in his family. In the past 2 years, his family either died of illness or old age. He was the only one left now. He was also an old bachelor. There's even no one to handle his funeral affairs. Awu was also born in a poor family. He is clever. Everyone knows Ting treated him as his son. Oh! Alas, it's regrettable that Ting was obsessed with steel making. He was not considerate at all. Obviously, he means well, but sometimes his words sounded harsh and mean. That's why Awu kicked over his shrine a while ago. So, Foreman Ting was really quite alone. It sounds so pitiful. Other than Awu, Who else did Foreman Ting have a dispute with? Old Lee is quite stubborn, so these two stubborn old men often fought. Also, a while back, Old Ting even beat that foreign lords from the library. Oh wait, laboratory. Thanks to his bad temper, he lost his job in the lab and became a laboring foreman here. Oh, that's why he left the lab. Okay. Elevator and warehouse. So, when the incident occurred, were you in this warehouse? Do you see anyone get off the elevator? I don't know. I was in front of the office doors at the time. Is this the warehouse usually locked? Does anyone stand guard? The warehouse usually isn't locked or guarded, since there's nothing important kept in there. Really? Nothing important in the warehouse? Old Lee claims that whenever he's on duty, he goes to the dock with you to eat midnight snacks. You know about that already. Was that the same case last night? We were just taking a little break. If there's anything else you want to know... Oh, okay, that... I guess we got insight on why he was fired, I guess. Is this the backyard area that... Wait, I want to see. So if I go here, Ironworks Interior... It's gonna be right in front of that... Yeah! Oh, wow! That connects... Oh, wow, we formed a circle. Okay, so, that means we only have one method of progression. Let's look at the monument. Hang Zhang in 1894. J. Cockerill... I don't know, man. This monument was erected when Hangyang Iron Works was first put into operation. At the time, there were quite a few foreign engineers who came to work in the ironworks. Oh, fact unlocked. Hanyang Ironworks Monument. Wow, this is a real thing then. In June 1894, the Hanyang Iron Works was officially put into operation, and a monument was constructed for commemoration. Many skilled workers from overseas were introduced at the beginning of the establishment of the iron works. To thank them for their remarkable contributions, the upper half of the monument was engraved with Hanyang in Pinyin and June. Oh, June in French. Oh, in French. The pointed hammer and flat hammer at the center was the emblem of the Hanyang Iron Works. Oh, I see. The lower half of the monument was engraved with olive branch symbolizing peace and friendship. Unfortunately, destroyed by the flames of war, this monument is now lost. Wow, okay. Oh, this is the chemical laboratory. Oh, that's our last person. This laboratory is huge! Oh. Well, speak of the devil. I was just telling Mr. Robinson about you two detectives. Mr. Robinson. There are quite a few questions we would like to ask Mr. Robinson. Of course. Allow me to introduce you. This is Mr. Robinson, a chemist from England. He was also the head of this laboratory. Mr. Robinson, this is Mr. Shen. Besides him is his assistant, Ah Fu. Mr. Shen. Oh, okay. There's so many male characters, I'm running out of voices. Mr. Shen. I did hear that Mr. Shen, I did hear thy deductions are marvelous. This case is still under investigation, so your cooperation would be greatly appreciated. If it be true that there is aught I can hope thee with, prithee, I hate this so much. Prithee thee did let me knoweth. Mr. Robinson, I'm also really interested in chemistry. If there are some experiments that come to mind, can I borrow your laboratory table? Aye. Actually, no, I'll go with that. I'll go with like a pirate sound. Oh, she's here too. The brazier! There are some paper ashes in the brazier that seem to have burned out not long ago. They got a shelf with books. This brazier brings back some bad memories. You want to tell? Yeah. A complete account for iron manufacture, electricity. The bookshelf is full of technical books. The remaining documents are all in foreign languages. Ooh, Natural Philosophy is the first book I read about in the study of physics. Natural Philosophy? During the mid-19th century, the increasingly close cultural exchanges between China and foreign countries, as well as the influx of Western missionaries, brought modern scientific and technological knowledge into China. Natural philosophy, compiled by Englishman Benjamin Hobson, was regarded as the enlightening read for Chinese people on Western science and technology. Divided into 3 collections, natural philosophy touched upon physics, chemistry, astronomy, zoology, and other knowledge. Ideologist Wang Tao evaluated this composition, saying that a scholar who studies the phenomena of nature to acquire a knowledge must start from here and set this as their standard. I see. Desk. A stack of documents, a bottle of ink, and a quill pen are placed on this desk. Huh? This is a chemical test report for steel. Let's see, standard. These are probably the chemicals, and the results are. Oh, okay, so they're not perfect. I see. So this was test report. I don't know what time this is taking place, but it was signed by Robinson. Okay. Steel in this report is made using coal from the Westphalia. All indexes are up to standard. Oh, okay. Steel in this report was made by a mixture of Chinese coke breeze and anthracite. What a shame. Due to the high phosphorus content, which is here, the fragmentation easily appears in steel. It seems that the choice of fuel really affects the quality of the steel. Wow, okay, I mean, they did say that. Portrait on the wall. Look, Shen, it's a portrait of Zhang Zhidong. Mr. Zhang advocated education and industry. He's a person I admire greatly. Zhang Zhidong. Zhang Zhidong, 1837 to 1909, was a representative figure of the Western affairs movement in the late Qing dynasty. He advocated Chinese traditional values for foundation, Western ideology for practical use. Oh, we did hear that from Fu before. Western ideology for practical use. Having experienced the Sino-French War, he was deeply aware of the importance of industrial development. In the spring of 1890, as a viceroy of Huguang, he collected funds from various places. After going through hardship, he was finally able to begin the construction of the Hangyang Iron Works in 1891 and began officially producing iron from June 30th, 1894. With the most advanced technology in the world at the time, he produced the first furnace of molten steel in China. Oh, laboratory table. There are several test tubes and a scale on the laboratory table. Okay, so appliance cabinet. A variety of reagents are displayed on this cabinet. Hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, ammonia, hydrogen peroxide. They really do have everything. Fu, what kind of experiments are these reagents used for? They're mainly used to test the composition of minerals and steel. I see. What the heck? Shen, are you alright? Oh jeez, that scared me. Oh, I'm fine. I just remembered a few unpleasant memories. As long as you're fine. Shen, I just found a bottle of reagent that's quite rare. Perhaps it can be of use. It's called alcohol. Oh man, I might look at that like frame by frame later on my own time. Let's talk to Wen Ko-shin. Miss Wen, are you also here to investigate the laboratory? I'm here for the photos. The camera was destroyed, but fortunately, the film inside was untouched. Mr. Robinson from the laboratory helped me develop them. Oh, okay, so we might have some evidence. What kind of photos did you take? Can we have a look? I only took a few. Most of them are scenery shots. You can see for yourself. I'm glad that she's like, yeah, I lost. I mean, it's not competition, but like, I'm just here to find the truth. I thought suicide was it, but it wasn't, so, you know, yeah, I'll help you to the best of my abilities. Shen, let's take a look at Miss Wen's photos. One moment. There's still a few questions that I would like to ask Miss Wen. Ask away, great detective, about the ironworks. As you're writing a report on the ironworks, you must know its recent developments. Well, of course! I am a senior reporter. It's really difficult for national enterprises like Hangyang Ironworks to develop and grow. Oh, sorry, I thought it was awful. They need to buy foreign equipment and even mineral resources that are controlled by foreigners. At the market, foreigners control the right to build most railways in China. They're the ones who decide whose steel rails to buy and what standards for testing are. Take the Shanghai Nanjing Railway with a British chief engineer, for example. The agreement specifies that the British in charge of purchase take a commission of 5%. Naturally, the British will choose to buy Western products to gain more profit. I see. When they purchase steel rails, they would nitpick at the Hanyang Ironworks products. Recently, the ironworks is more competitive due to a new method that greatly reduces costs. However, sayings about bad quality of its steel rails have sent ironworks to rock bottom. No wonder Deputy Administrator Lee seems so anxious. That's why he hopes that my new news report can help them restore their reputation. Oh, that's why she's here. I see. Okay, no more questions. Wow. Show us the photos. Wait, what about the photos? There's still a few questions I'd like to ask Miss Wen. What? Are the photos here being the ones here being developed? Yeah. Photos by Wen. On the left is a photo of Hanyang Works freight dock. In the middle is a photo of the molten steel basin. We've seen this before. I didn't take a good look at the other one, to be honest. This is the same one. This photo is taken in the office on the furnace factory floor. So these two were to get... what kind of evidence can I see from this? There's a lot of money here. That's probably the thing that had the money that he was distributing the wages for. Do we see anything? He's not wearing his like the hood, as they said. And she didn't get here very long ago. Huh? The office in the photo looks different to what it's like now. Is it like the bag of money? Is it a lamp? I don't know. Miss Wen, what was this photo taken yesterday evening? Was this photo taken yesterday evening as well? Yep. What about it? This detail in the photo differs from how the office is now. It seems quite peculiar. I'm just gonna say this bag of money. Shen, the money bag and the money on the desk disappeared without a trace. This money was probably taken to pay wages, right? That's right. But there's nothing peculiar about that. Shen, let's take another look. Is the map... There's no ink block, I guess. It's probably gotta be this or something. I don't know. Shen, I don't think that's the right spot. Okay, I'll go with my initial guess. Shen, I don't think... Oh, it's the map? Shen, the blueprints on the wall changed. In the photo, the flowchart of the steel making process was placed above the map. But now, it's a working drawing of the open hearth's furnace. I wish they let us compare, because I would have chosen that maybe. So it's this thing. Furthermore, the map in the photo looks evidently more worn down. Who did it? And why would they suddenly make such a change? When the incident occurred, I was in the office. The blueprints were switched out then. Shen, do you think this could be related to Foreman Ting's death? It's hard to believe that there's no connection whatsoever between these two. Could it be that the suspect did it? We cannot... Wait, the suspect? Do you know who the suspect... Oh.
丁教木有必要把流程图替换成施工图。
Where do you come from? He said, we cannot rule out the possibility that Foreman Ting did this. Was it necessary for Foreman Ting to replace the flowchart with a working drawing?
能不能不要一惊一乍的？
Oh yeah, it surprised me too.
能不能不要顾左右而言他？回答我。
I wonder if we'll get an English version of this. That would be really cool.
丁教木有必要把流程图替换成施工图吗？
Was it necessary for Foreman Ting to replace the flowchart with a working... I want to say no need.
没必要。两个平炉都已经投产了，丁教木没必要再把施工图挂出来。从这个角度说，大概不会是丁教木换的，除非
Unless
是疑犯。
That's what I was thinking.
继续。
Go
疑犯
on.
有什么必须要替换图纸的理由吗？
Cover up traces, probably.
难道是为了掩盖墙上的痕迹？不对，图纸的大小和张贴的位置都没变。疑犯有什么必须要替换图
I
纸的理由？
guess to destroy information?
显然，纸上有些信息是他不希望我们看到的。
Huh.
为了
I
销毁
see.
他们，才把2张图纸都替换。所以呢，是什么样的信息？照片中的2张图纸并没有特别之处，上面也没有手写的痕迹。那张地图甚至跟现在的地图是一模一样的。这说明
，which means was left concealed?
也许
Nope.
信息是，比如用特殊方式才能显现的墨水，又或者纸张经过了某种特殊的处理。
Nah, we didn't get the
假设这有那么隐
text.
蔽的信息，也不用换图纸了。这说明
Was left after. This indicates that the information was left after. I kind of wish they
这
kind
就
of
是后留下
had
的
that
信息。
for us to see beforehand, because it was just like, so what's the answer? I'm like, what's the question? I forgot. The information could have been only left after.
说明从昨天傍晚文记者拍照片后到今晨，这期间被撕掉的图纸上所以新出现的信息是什么？可能性太多了。不，疑犯隐瞒证据的理由只有一个。
Only
为隐
one
藏的证据
reason.
会暴露他的罪行。有人一直在营造传说杀人假象，但实际，丁将木在坠楼时，大概率已经遭遇不测。
Yes.
这意味着，图纸上新出现的信息是
Was a blood.
可能性最大的是血迹。
So we're saying that the reason he had to replace them is because there are traces of blood on the documents that were previously on the wall. So you had to replace them to, you know, make it so that they thought the murder area was the ladles and the furnace. So yeah.
疑犯想要营造传说杀人的假象。如果车间里发现了血迹，他的轨迹就暴露了。证据，给我一个能佐证你推理的证据。证据？还有什么证据能侧面佐证死者受伤流血的证据是？
Evidence that presents bleeding. Maybe it's this. No, that's not it.
不，能侧面佐证
Evidence
死
that could
者受伤流
indirectly
血的
prove
证
that the
据是
deceased was injured and bleeding. Evidence that shows that he was bleeding. Maybe the photo?
不，
I have no
能侧
idea.
面佐证死者受伤流。
Suicide? No.
这封他与
It's
强生的
forged,
图纸
so it has
没
no
有
relevance
能
to
侧
the
面佐证
blueprints.
死者受伤。
Oh, headcloth.
是的，早上丁将木很反常的戴了头巾，
He's saying the headcloth was worn to cover the blood.
头巾的作用可能是遮挡头上的伤痕和血迹。不过，这还不足以证实刚刚的假设。可惜，尸体损毁了，否则一眼便知。即便是假设，它至少能说明，案发的第一现场很可能就在公事房。
Yep. Shen, are you alright? Did your headache act up again? I'm fine. Just now, I've understood something. It is most likely that the office was the primary scene of the crime. The blueprints were switched out because blood splattered across them. Whoa! So that's what it was. However, this is just a hypothesis. We need to find a way to prove it. If blood splattered onto the blueprints, we should be able to find bloodstains on the wall. But we didn't find anything at all, so it must have been wiped clean. If only we can find a way to test for it, like luminol. Ah, Shen, I've got an idea. In my father's notes, I once read about an ammonia powder that glows when reacting with blood. I never thought that this laboratory would have it. See, this one. It's C8H7N302. You see this one? The scientific name for it is 3-aminophthaltral. I can try to prepare a blood detection reagent. That'd be wonderful. let's go borrow Mr. Robinson's laboratory table. So, are we gonna have more with Wen Koshin? No. Okay, I thought maybe she would talk about her photos. Alright, honestly, I've kind of played this for a lot longer than I thought. Especially with that last part, I kind of went on a little bit. I know I'm not done with the investigation, but I think I'm gonna stop here for today. I haven't really talked to Mr. Robinson at all. I'm gonna change his voice. But, ooh, okay, so we got some details. He was killed in the office, and then they're using some kind of scheme to essentially fake his death, so that people would think that it is, or not fake his death, but fake his death location, so that people would think it was the ladle? The lava, I'm just gonna call it, the molten steel. And, yeah, I'm not really sure who it is. I have some suspicions on certain people, but I'll explain it as I go. And yeah, I guess we'll find out who did it next time. And until then, I will be seeing you. See ya!